Have you ever had a dream that seemed impossible? Have you ever felt like the world was against you and every step was a struggle? Today, you're going to hear the story of Aurora, a young immigrant, alone in New York City, trying to turn her passion for music into something real. But the road to success is harsh. Humiliation, betrayal, envy, and even a fire threaten to destroy everything she's built. But will Aurora give up? Or will her music be strong enough to silence her enemies and move the world? Stay with me until the end, because this story will touch you in ways you never expected. And before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell, because here, every week, you'll find heartwarming stories that will keep you hooked from beginning to end. Now let's go. Aurora's journey starts now.
The afternoon sun beat down on the dusty windows of an old apartment in the Bronx, New York. Inside, a young woman whom we'll call Aurora in her early 20s wrestled with melancholy. Her slender, nimble fingers danced across the keys of a battered electronic keyboard, producing melodies that contrasted with the starkness of the surroundings. Aurora, a recent immigrant, held within her the hope of turning her passion for music into something more, a dream that seemed increasingly distant. The city, with its vastness and complexity, was both a stage of opportunity and a labyrinth of challenges. Aurora worked in a laundromat, dealing with the weight of dirty clothes and the fatigue of the day-to-day, while her heart yearned for illuminated stages and vibrant audiences. Her refuge was music. Each note, each chord, was an expression of her pain, her longing, her hope. She dreamed of showing the world the power of her art, of touching people's hearts, of transforming her story into an unforgettable melody. But the path to success seemed long and arduous, filled with obstacles that would test her resilience and determination. New York, 2024. The city pulsates with the frenetic energy of millions of dreams, but for Aurora, the reality is harsher. The Bronx, with its old buildings and bustling streets, is her home, a place where the struggle for survival blends with the hope for a better future. Aurora, from a small village in Eastern Europe, carries with her the melody of her childhood, a legacy from her grandmother, also a pianist who taught her to love music above all else. Her electronic keyboard, a gift from a distant uncle, is her only link to that past. It becomes her tool of expression, her confidant, her refuge amidst the chaos of the city. Aurora, with her shyness and determined gaze, works tirelessly at the laundromat while her mind travels to the imaginary stages that await her. Her motivation is clear: to transform her passion into her profession, to prove that her talent can break through the barriers of prejudice and poverty. One day, a group of arrogant young men, regulars at a local bar, mock her impromptu performance, ridiculing her accent and appearance. Their scorn echoes like a challenge, awakening in Aurora an even greater determination to prove her worth. In the bar where she suffered the humiliation, she meets an old man named Samuel, a former jazz musician who recognizes the sparkle in her eyes. Samuel, with his wisdom and experience, becomes her mentor, her guide, her friend. He encourages her to follow her dreams, not to be discouraged by difficulties, to believe in her potential. The relationship between them is built on mutual respect and a passion for music. The young men who mocked Aurora, led by a guy named Julian, the son of an influential businessman, see music as a mere pastime, something that doesn't require effort or dedication. The humiliation at the bar rekindles Aurora's flame, and she begins to train incessantly with Samuel. It turns out that Julian, the leader of the mockers, secretly envies Aurora's musical talent, revealing a hidden rivalry. An old letter from Aurora's grandmother reveals a family secret: she was also humiliated but became a renowned pianist, inspiring Aurora to follow in her footsteps with even more determination. An invitation to a local competition arises, intensifying the pressure on Aurora, who needs to prove her worth not only to herself but also to honor her grandmother's legacy. Aurora's keyboard is broken, and lessons with Samuel are interrupted by the need to work more hours at the laundromat. Meanwhile, Julian, driven by envy, decides to sabotage Aurora's preparation, spreading rumors about her and trying to demoralize her. Aurora meets a young woman named Clara who works with her at the laundromat. Clara, an aspiring writer, becomes Aurora's friend and confidant, offering her a different perspective on her struggle and encouraging her to express her emotions through music and writing. An unexpected friendship blossoms, showing that support can come from the most unlikely places. Aurora discovers that her opponent Julian has also entered the competition, revealing an even fiercer rivalry. Aurora's routine is abruptly interrupted when a fire hits Samuel's studio, destroying the piano and all the sheet music she used for training. The incident, caused by an electrical fault, leaves Samuel injured and the place uninhabitable. The studio that was her main means of preparation for the competition is reduced to ashes, leaving Aurora in despair. News of the fire spreads quickly, and Julian takes advantage of the situation to mock Aurora, further increasing her anger and determination. The destruction of the studio is not only a material loss but also an emotional blow to Aurora and Samuel, who feel helpless and hopeless. Clara, upon hearing what happened, decides to help Aurora, mobilizing the local community to raise funds and rebuild the studio, and the friendship between them strengthens. The fire at Samuel's studio generates a wave of solidarity in the community. Clara leads the fundraising while other neighbors offer help to clear the rubble and find a new location for rehearsals. Aurora, initially discouraged, feels inspired by the unity of the people and redoubles her efforts not to disappoint them. An old builder named Ben, who heard about the fire at the studio, offers to rebuild the studio for free. Ben, a man of few words but a big heart, becomes an important ally in Aurora's journey, showing that kindness can come from unexpected places. Meanwhile, Julian, realizing that his sabotage has not shaken Aurora's determination, decides to intensify his attacks, using his influence to prevent her from getting a new piano. The lack of a suitable piano becomes a new obstacle for Aurora, who needs to find a way to continue training for the competition. She starts using a keyboard borrowed from a friend of Clara's, but the lack of key sensitivity makes her preparation difficult. The pressure increases when Aurora discovers that Julian is also training intensely for the competition with a renowned teacher and a state-of-the-art piano. The unequal conditions frustrate her, but she refuses to be discouraged, finding strength in her passion for music and the support of her friends. The competition between Aurora and Julian intensifies when both are selected for the final of the competition. The pressure on Aurora increases as she needs to prove her worth on a bigger stage in front of a more demanding audience. Meanwhile, Samuel, still recovering from the fire, discovers that he has a serious illness and needs urgent treatment. The tension between Aurora and Julian increases when he tries to buy the borrowed keyboard she is using with the sole aim of preventing her from training. Julian's attitude reveals his true nature, showing that he is capable of anything to achieve his goals, even if it means harming others. The relationship between Aurora and Clara deepens, with the writer friend becoming her main source of support and inspiration. Clara helps her deal with the pressure of the competition, believe in her potential, and express her emotions through music and writing. Aurora discovers that Julian has a dark secret that could compromise his reputation and career. The revelation puts her at a crossroads, with the need to decide whether to use the information to take revenge or seek a fairer and more honest solution. Aurora's choice will have a significant impact on her future and the conclusion of the story. Samuel's health worsens and he is hospitalized on the eve of the competition final. Aurora feels desperate, torn between the need to be by her mentor's side and the responsibility to perform on stage. Julian, realizing that his sabotage has not shaken Aurora's determination, decides to use the secret he discovered to publicly demoralize her. He spreads false information about her life, trying to tarnish her image and prevent her success. Julian's attitude reveals his cruelty and his lack of scruples. Clara, seeing Aurora on stage, realizes that her friend has become a true artist, capable of transforming pain into beauty, struggle into victory, her story into music. The final of the competition approaches, and the tension increases. Aurora, despite the pain and pressure, focuses on her music, transforming her emotions into a powerful and moving melody. She dedicates herself to rehearsals, seeking perfection, but without losing the essence of her art. Meanwhile, Julian, realizing that his sabotage has not had the desired effect, tries to manipulate the judges, using his influence to guarantee his victory. Julian's attitude reveals his lack of character and his inability to recognize the talent of others. Ben, the old builder, finishes rebuilding Samuel's studio, creating a space even more beautiful and inspiring than before the fire. The new studio becomes a symbol of Aurora's resilience and her community. The night of the competition final arrives. Aurora, with her heart full of emotion, prepares to go on stage, knowing that this is the moment to prove her worth and honor the legacy of her grandmother and Samuel. She focuses on her music, seeking perfection, but without losing the essence of her art. Julian, feeling that his victory is threatened, decides to use his last card, publicly revealing Aurora's secret, with the aim of demoralizing her and preventing her success. Ben, the old builder, offers Aurora an unexpected gift, a new piano, built by him with his own hands. Ben's gesture represents hope and renewal, showing that kindness can come from unexpected places. Aurora goes on stage with her heart pounding and sits at the piano that Ben built with so much care. Her fingers touch the keys, and a powerful and moving melody echoes through the theater, expressing all her pain, her struggle, her hope. Aurora's music transcends the competition, becoming an act of resistance, a declaration of her truth. Samuel, despite his weakened health, manages to watch Aurora's presentation, moved by the talent and strength of his protege. His presence in the theater becomes an incentive for Aurora, who feels grateful for having such a dedicated and loving mentor. The relationship between them becomes an example of love and respect, showing that friendship can overcome any obstacle. Julian, seeing Aurora's presentation, realizes that his sabotage has not had the desired effect. His envy turns into admiration, and he realizes that Aurora's talent is genuine and undeniable. The rivalry between them comes to an end, with Julian recognizing Aurora's victory. Samuel, listening to Aurora's music, feels proud of his protege. He realizes that his legacy will continue to live on through her, and that his passion for music will inspire many other people. Aurora's presentation moves everyone, including the judges, who recognize her talent and originality. She is declared the winner of the competition, winning the recognition and admiration she has always deserved. After the victory in the competition, Aurora's life is transformed. She becomes a renowned pianist with sold-out concerts around the world. Her music touches the hearts of millions of people, inspiring them to follow their dreams and overcome obstacles. Julian, seeing Aurora's success, decides to change his path. He recognizes his mistakes and dedicates himself to helping other young talents realize their dreams. The rivalry between him and Aurora turns into a friendship based on respect and admiration. Clara, by publishing a book about Aurora's story, becomes a successful writer. Her writing inspires other people to express their emotions and fight for their rights. The friendship between her and Aurora strengthens, showing that mutual support can overcome any obstacle. Samuel's studio becomes a music center, where young talents have the opportunity to learn and develop their skills. The place becomes a symbol of hope and renewal, showing that adversity can be transformed into opportunity. The community comes together to support young musicians, creating an environment of love and respect. And so, Aurora's story ends, but her legacy remains alive, inspiring everyone to believe in their dreams and use their voice to transform the world. May Aurora's journey be an example that music can overcome prejudice, envy, and pain. Now, be inspired by Aurora's story and let your own music echo throughout the world.